everybody.
Lasers.
Thought we were going to have Monday energy. No, we have Winners Lounge energy. Is it Monday?
It is Monday.
It is Monday. And we have Winners Lounge energy. We got Nikola Jokic energy, guys. Actually,
I had the Joker, baby.
I tried to tell you.
This is the season.
This is the season, man. So welcome in, everybody. I'm Adam Matas. I'm joined by all my esteemed colleagues. Brendan Votes back. We got him back.
That was fun.
It
should look like that more often, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if every team has 7 players, all of whom hate each other, but nine players. We've also got D-Lanco. You know him as Weeds.
What? Let's go. You can't throw your nickname in the mix.
I just brought it in, baby.
Let's freaking go, dude. Nikola Jokic is a good basketball player. I'm ready to say it, guys. I'm ready to say it.
Put the stamp of approval on it. And then, of course, our final member, Duvalier or Duvalier or Dev, Superstar Dev.
I finally get to be in a winner's lounge. This is what I've been waiting for. I am
it's
excited
a lot more
to
fun
be
this
here.
way.
Like, you guys are smiling. I can look around the room. Other times I try to put my head down.
A little awkward in here.
I can't say whatever I say and then just let it go.
We had a lot of these over the last year. So then you showed up and there weren't any.
But guess what? They're here now.
We're
talking about the past. Let's talk about the
Why
now.
are we talking about old stuff, man?
Why are we bringing up old stuff? So this was a fun game, man, in large part because Nikola Jokic, the god of basketball himself, gave us this gift of 18 points, 19 points, 18 assists,
10 rebounds.
His rebound. Who would have guessed his rebounding would have been his weak point on the season this year?
It's embarrassing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, man. I mean, we just talked about it in the preseason. We're watching him, and we see that body. I mean, my God, that body, that skinny body.
Middle four corner.
When we just see how good he looked physically, and it was like, okay, encouraging sign. Then you get into the preseason, it's like, this guy's kind of doing whatever he wants right now. I think it's going to be a big year. And now we're 3 games into it, and that they're 0-2 to start going into tonight. And that's hiding the fact that Jokic was averaging a triple-double coming into it on like 70% true shooting. But tonight you get a win, and so we get to kind of let that burden off of our backs and talk about Nikola Jokic.
We're free.
To me, he is meaningfully impressive through, it's only 3 games, meaningfully more impressive than any stretch he started a season on. I just think that it's so clear he is at a whole different level from what we're even used to. And I don't think you expect that going into year 5. Is that a hot take, Dev?
No, I don't think that it's a hot take. Everything about it just seems so much. He just seems smooth. He's at a level like some of when there's a great player, they just kind of get it. He gets it. It seems like everything is just coming to him so easily, and it's as if he's not even trying. He sees the game before it happened, and he already always had that. But now it just seems so much more evident that it's just like, you know what you're going to get from Jokic every time out. He's averaging a triple-double, and not only is he averaging a triple-double, tonight he made it so easy for him to go into the new year averaging a triple-double.
Do you have his averages? You could throw them up there, Kale. I just gave you a tweet from Jackson Frank that's on a different one. Yeah, that's a good one, too. We'll go to in a minute. But
we talked about all the ways Jokic might get better, right? Like losing weight, stepping up as a leader.
Yeah.
Did any of us even think it was possible for like the game to just look slower for him, for him to look even better as a playmaker? Because he does right now.
But I mean, all this stuff is connected, and it's funny because there's the numbers we see right there. This is his average, 24 points. He's averaging 14 assists and 12 rebounds right now. And then look at that true shooting. 69%? Like his career best, I think it's 64, 65.
And
very
nice.
That is nice.
And his teammates have shot the ball poorly through 3 games. I mean, he could really.
Yeah.
There's
that
last
game in particular, there was a lot of assists on the table for him.
He's earning this.
So he just, I mean, you mentioned earlier about how I don't even remember the phrasing you said, but something like he's seeing the game or this or that. And, LeBron, what was so impressive about him and continues to be through, although maybe less so athletically, was that he was the smartest player and the most athletic. And you saw what that gets you. But Jokic dominates games, maybe not because consistently or to the level of LeBron, whatever. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying he's the least athletic guy in the NBA.
Yeah, he might be the least athletic guy in this room.
But that's how much more he just sees the game and is able to dominate it. Yeah.
I'm sneaky athletic, just I went to state in tennis. Whatever, go ahead.
Whatever, state in tennis. Wow.
So to your point, I'm 99% sure on this. Got to double check it. Jokic didn't take a shot in the second half.
Yep.
And he dominated the second half. 8 assists in the third quarter. He was the best player on the floor without shooting it. And that's the kind of thing that only a player of Jokic's ilk cut from that cloth, which how many, by the way, are there of those players?
Who among
like
who
5?
else is included in that ilk?
Yeah, it's like Larry Bird, LeBron.
Literally no one else.
So we've talked about this before. So for the people, the OGs that have been with us for years, I'm going to repeat a point here. But, Arturas Karnisovas played with Arvydas Sabonis back in the day. Lithuanian dream team back in 92. Lithuanian legend, played on with them for all those years, then played through Europe. Yeah, we've asked him about this, about like, hey, Jokic versus Sabonis, like, what do you think? And to him, it was not a question. He's like, look, Sabonis was an incredible passer, but all of his passes were from the elbow or the post, standing still, throwing darts over the head. Like, really, Sabonis, obviously, fantastic player. Like one of my favorites of the guys that predates me, right? But what Jokic does isn't great passes. What Jokic does is great, like, playmaking.
Just straight
race.
It's all of it, because some of it, you remember the play, it was my favorite pass of the game where he's on the block, he sees Michael Porter, and rather than like just go for a shot or turn around and pass or whatever, he spins the opposite direction knowing he's grabbing the guy and then throws it. And it's just like, it's not just that he's passing it with accuracy, it's that he's actively moving the pieces around the court to do what he wants to then make the great pass of it.
And it's art. The best part about it is, a lot of times when you see a Jokic pass, you're just like, how did he see his guy? He didn't even look at his guy. And a lot of times he's not reading if his guy is there. He reads the defense. So on that play, he does his whole spin. He looks to see if his guy is going to move. As soon as his guy starts moving, he knows his guy's in the corner. So it makes it that much easier for him. So I think that what makes it so wild for Jokic. And then also what you said with LeBron being the smartest player and also the most athletic, the thing that makes it best about Jokic is he doesn't have to be athletic. So that means that maybe there's longevity with there. You don't have to be the most athletic. If you
age like wine, baby.
If you lose your legs or if there's anything that does happen, you still got the mental aspect of the game that never lost. It makes it that much better. Plus you're 7 foot.
This is semantics, because I say it too, that he's not athletic, but he does have an important types of athleticism. He's a really quick jumper. I know people are going to laugh at this. He gets off of his feet quickly, and that's why he has so many good taps.
His second jump.
Incredible hands. Like he just,
dude,
I know that might not technically.
Coordination.
Coordination, hand-eye coordination. I don't know if that falls into the athletic umbrella, but it is a special skill of him. And then he's just strong as an ox. Like I know he's skinny as can be right now, but you see a guy like Christian Wood tonight, who's an undersized center. I mean, he's more of a mobile outside center, but like, dude can't do physically anything against him when he's putting his body. I was just like, it's like a child.
And I thought tonight too, the playmaking was to the point where he was straight up telling guys where to be and where to go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now it's vocal. Now it's like, no, you actually just go there.
Well, that's a good point. That's different, because that was one of the things he talked about, right? I mean, so you're saying you're seeing it through that.
I felt like I saw it on the court a couple times tonight of him straight up telling dudes when to cut and where to go. Hey, he's just, I mean, it does to me, the playmaking right now, there's 2, maybe 3 guys on the planet that are on his level.
No.
It's crazy because this is like everything that we would just pine for in seasons past, where it's at the beginning of the season and we're like, why doesn't he look like Jokic? And like now he doesn't look like just like Jokic, he looks like the best version of Jokic.
Right.
And it's the 3rd game of the season. Like, what are we in store for? I mean, we were calling for this all off season, but like, I mean, I don't know if I like fully believed it. Like, I don't know what is stopping Jokic from absolutely winning MVP this year.
So only 19 points tonight, and I say only because he goes 8 of 11, and to Vogt's point, didn't take a shot in the second half. So like, it's easy to not score. In a lot of ways, you could say that 19 points early on, and then the rest of it was just him kind of having fun / kind of. I'll ask you this first, Dev, but do you think there's a method to his madness? Meaning, he knows if this game got close, he needs to score again. But when it wasn't, maybe he's more about he's been talking so much about how the team needs to learn how to play a certain way, and maybe this is his way of showing that, like, hey, I'm out here trying to pass, not score.
I think it's a game within a game, because if you look at the first quarter, really, the first half he dominated. He's like, I'm just going to establish myself in the post. We're going against the Rockets. This is not a big team. Let me show you guys what I could do against the Rockets for the first half. Yeah. He goes and shoots every single shot, very efficient. Right. He's scoring like with ease. Then he's just like, okay, that was a little bit too easy. Let me start passing the ball now. Then he starts getting everyone involved. And this is a game that the Nuggets really needed other people to get their morale up and their confidence up. I think that Jokic took that into like consideration. He's like, okay, I could just dominate every game. I've been doing that. Let me get other people involved. So now we have Gary Harris breaking out. Now we have Paul Millsap getting his shots up, even though he's been a great shooter this year. But now you start to see everybody else get into a rhythm. It makes it a lot easier for Jokic because he's like, okay, now everybody else is in a rhythm. Now our offense is going to start taking off. So I think that it's a game within a game.
He is pretty adamant, though, when we ask him that it's rarely, if ever, a premeditated approach. He sort of takes it how it comes to him. And I think you say only 19. It felt that way because just based off that Wood matchup, you're like, oh, he could go for 35 tonight if he wants to.
So his scoring was actually impressive in the first half. That's kind of what you're getting at. I think
100%.
points are coming easy. We were laughing early on because he had like 12 points in the first 6 minutes or something. We were kind of laughing because we're like, it was the homie Miroslav, right? He was the one that came with this take. He's like, guys, Jokic's going to lead the team in points. Not because he wants to, but just because he's
just always
Well, it was also like he was going through all this work to orchestrate the entire play, get someone a wide open look at the basket. They were blowing it, and then he was just picking it up and
There's a lot of
it
oops,
back up.
like baskets. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
man,
all right.
I'm right at the right spot again.
I
Like,
guess I'll just do it
basket.
all myself.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
His comment about it.
Jokic looks like a walrus on ice, but he finesses everyone.
It's so true, man. He really does.
Walrus
He doesn't
on
even look
ice.
like a walrus on ice anymore. Here's the thing about it. He does kind of have a waddle to him, and he still has all those yoke features. But I'm telling you, the man is fit. I know this sounds weird to say. He's not fat anymore in any way. Not that he's not fat for himself.
No, he's just not fat.
He's just not fat. Like, you look at him next to Hartenstein, and you go like, yeah, those guys have the same body. Hartenstein more of a hunch, but other than that, they have the same build. Like,
All right, am I getting crazy too, or is he getting this close to blocking some of those lobs? He's getting closer. He's getting closer. Probably not.
Let's slow it down.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
let's slow
That's probably the line.
All right, we're all having
My
fun
bad.
here. Come on.
That was a five pepper take.
I deserve this.
So he's absolutely incredible. I usually start the show, guys, and I guess we can segue. I mean, I don't want to be done giving Yoke love. Do we have the king of the game or not yet? Is that what you're working on?
That's
as
what
we
I'm
speak?
feverishly working on.
Feverishly
here.
working on.
We won't tell you who it is.
We won't tell you who it is. It'll be a
You
surprise.
gotta hang on. That's why. That's,
You guys should give us your thoughts on who could be the king of the game.
king of the game. Well, I usually start the show by asking you guys what your number one takeaway is, and so I'll vote. The first one was Yoke. We got through that. Give me another takeaway from this game.
Jamal Murray's shot was falling.
Fallen.
The difficult shots were falling.
4 of 6 from the 3-point line.
I don't think it's still like he couldn't get by anyone, and the easy stuff didn't look easy. But those difficult shots, those were falling, and so he was getting into some sort of a Jamal rhythm, I thought.
Yeah. Jamal commentary from you, Eric? I mean, what did you see from tonight? Because it is an interesting one. Like, I thought he was extremely effective. Early on in the game, he had this enormous plus-minus. He goes out after he gets hurt, hit in the head. But he did... It's like, are you encouraged by the fact that he is making shots like Bubble Murray, or discouraged by the fact that he seemed to be struggling directionally, like going forward?
I'm absolutely encouraged because
Me too.
I didn't feel like Bubble Murray was predicated on just him being quick. I felt like that was an added bonus that we were getting, and so he was like getting a lot more of cutting to the rim and finishing around the rim, which we're not really seeing right now. But for Jamal Murray, it's all about the outside shot. Like, once his outside shot starts to fall, like, everything opens up. The Nuggets offense is completely activated. And he looked like, it's starting to round into form. Like, I had a feeling he was going to go off tonight, and he sort of did.
He kind of went off as much as you could, given that Jokic was doing what he did, and given that the Rockets, let's be honest, this was not a very good team they rolled out there.
No.
No.
I mean, I was in fact very encouraged. I mean, this is the first game this season that I wasn't like discouraged by Jamal Murray. Like, this felt like, okay, all right, like, this looks like a little bit like what we saw the last time we saw him at an elite level. So it just feels like, things are starting to round into form. I mean, don't forget, like, we had 3 preseason games.
Right,
with
yeah,
this
it was
team.
so short.
We are, in essence, still in the preseason, and I'm sure in their mental state, all of these players, like, trying to figure out exactly how to play together, or at least to remember how to play together, and just find that synergy. And so, just a player rolling outside of Nikola Jokic it just feels good to watch. So.
Yeah, Dev, so first 6 quarters of Jamal Murray's season, pretty horrible. 2 field goals. The next 6 quarters, including today and the last 2 of the last game, it's starting to look like, okay, that shot's back. The, like, pep in his step is back, which I think is as important as all of this. Like, tonight, even though he wasn't getting past guys into the basket, he was shaking them into that step back, which is kind of his patent and move. So should we, is the rust off?
I don't think that the rust is completely off just because we've seen some uncharacteristic things of Murray. He's missing free throws. We don't
Man,
see
that's
man.
weird. Yeah,
It's
that
really
is
weird.
weird.
that never happens. He doesn't miss free throws. Like, this is a guy that's like at the 90% for the free throw for his career type of player, and he He missed 2 in a row at one point. So, I mean, that's a bit shocking, but it also was great to see him not get down on himself. He still was like, okay, like let me bounce back. You can still see him starting to rise and become the player that he can be. You also can see the very tough shots that he's making, so that's really something to be excited about, that he's making these tough shots. Yeah. And once he starts to feel, we don't know if it's healthy or if his confidence just has to get there, but once the small things start to go, like, this is a game that if he makes his free throws that he typically makes, he's at 26, 27
Yeah, he
points.
He had 21 tonight, which is pretty good, especially on 14 shots. Not bad, but yeah, he could have had a lot. He misses 4 free throws.
Yeah, so we see him getting back to that. And then if he does make all those those free throws, he's at 27 points tonight. We don't say anything at all. There's nothing that you really see. So he's starting to be get back into a rhythm, and this was a game that he desperately needed.
I would like to see him start getting by guys again, though. That was arguably my favorite part of the bubble explosion. I mean, the shooting was ridiculous, but because we hadn't seen Murray do that with ease, and I thought the game was starting to look easy for him, getting to the rim, scoring around legit rim protectors, and right now it does look like he's working really hard to get around guys. So, again, still think by the playoffs, by the end of the year, he could play himself back into that shape and all that, but don't think he's there yet.
And you'd like to see him put on a little bit of the muscle. Yeah, I do feel like he was a little more jacked in the bubble. So,
seemed that way.
Maybe it was summer and everybody's lower tan. I felt that way with myself.
We've all got a little quarantine weight.
That's true. We do all have a little quarantine weight. Guys, if you're listening to the show for the first time up on YouTube or Periscope, hopefully you're on YouTube. We always prefer people watch on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget that this is also a podcast, the DNVR Nuggets podcast. You don't want to miss it because not every episode is a lounge, a live recorded lounge. There's other things that we have throughout the week, and so you don't want to miss those. Why don't we hit a break, Brendan, real quick? On the other side, though, we got a lot of players to go through. Gary Harris had, I think, a good night.
We have every player to go through. Every player played
Michael Porter Jr. cost me $10. I'm going to talk about that.
I don't want Jamal Murray also cost
Jamal Murray also 21 and a half. He goes for 20. He has 21 with 18 more minutes to go in the game.
I got to say, gambling has enhanced my life in so many ways. It also made me bitter in ways I don't want to talk about.
It's very true. We're very bitter. But why don't you take us to a break before we piss and moan too much?
Okay, I will. Let's talk about Breckenridge Brewery.
I was just going to say, I'm about to go get a Breckenridge Brewery.
You should, because it's the official beer of DNVR.
Oh, super producer Kale, guys. I'm telling you.
I mean, I think he realizes it's poor form for you to just get up and leave the
building. Remember, supporting our partners is one of the best ways to support us during this crazy time. Check out the RK special, the Hank special, the Dre special. That's right, we're fixing our own drinks at Breck Brew now. Basically, you just have to mix any 2 Breck brews together, but it's delicious.
With the age, I made my own concoction. It didn't make the read.
Yeah, yours was pretty bad. We also want to push the Broncos Country beer, the Palisade Peach, excuse me. And hey, the farmhouse is open, socially distanced, beautifully set up for outside dining. If you are comfortable at home, you can still orb-side pickup from 12 to 8 p.m. You can also get beer delivery from the Drizzly app, or just head to the nearest grocery store like King Soopers or Costco. Call 303-803-1380 from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. to pick up. Use code DNVR to save $5. Let's also talk about WGT Golf. It's not only the most popular golf game in the world, it's also the official gaming partner of DNVR. It's become so popular, we opened a 4th DNVR Country Club. Each of these clubs hold 250 people, so if you don't want to feel left out anymore.
What's more frustrating in WGT? Is it more frustrating when you perfectly hit it and then it's way off and you're like, well, I just aimed horribly? Or is it worse when you hit it, you miss completely on your aiming?
I hate just missing it, dude. That's if I shank it, I shank, but if I just miss it.
The most frustrating thing is when you put it in the goddamn water. Or
it's whatever, 200 points.
Yeah, and then you're it's off by 50, and then you have a punitive plus 50 on these.
Yeah.
If you're not sure just what the hell we're talking about, Google WGT Golf. It's a mobile golfing game. It's the most fun one out there. We have 4 country clubs. Each weekend, we set up tournaments in each one of those country clubs, and we hand out some prizes and stuff as well. It's really cool. So download WGT Golf.
Scott, what did you tell your wife when she asked who's that guy giggling? I didn't know the answer.
The giggler.
That's it.
Attack of the Giggler. Good work, man. You got that. Let's hit King of the Game, guys.
I wonder who it is.
King of the Game, it is Jokic. We had to give it to him. 19 points, 18 assists. I kind of, looking at this, 12 rebounds, huh? I thought he only had 10. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he got those extra minutes in the 4th.
Plus 20.
Plus 20.
Well, wait till we get to Dozier. So, yeah. But you know what's funny about this is I have a feeling Jokic really, he wasn't shooting and it was deliberate. I think he wanted more assists than points tonight. I think he really wanted it. And in some ways, I feel like he failed.
It's true. He really let us down.
Really in that way and no other way. Let's go through some guys now tonight. We'll just run through the list kind of top down here. Paul Millsap, 19 points. I don't know if you knew this, guys. 19 points, 7 of 8 shooting, including 3 of 4. We're having this running debate. Empty gym, best shooter on the team, I don't know, probably Marcus Howard. And then if you get to the actual guys, Porter or Murray. If you talk about including shot selection and everything else, I think Michael Porter is the single guy. When he's on the court and he has an open three, I'm like, yes, that one's in.
Porter or Millsap?
Millsap. What did I say?
You said Porter.
Damn it, Millsap. Paul Millsap.
Okay, my power rankings for confidence, this goes in.
On an open three. Like
Jokic floater, number 1.
Yeah, that's like
Paul Millsap open from the wing, honestly, might be number 2 on the entire team.
Every time he shoots a three-pointer, we're like, I can't believe this is going to go in. It goes in every time, and then we have to discuss.
No, I'm over the hump.
Well, but I'm
over the hump now. I think they're all going in.
43%
I'm not
year
saying that. To me, I'm still in disbelief that I know it's going to go in. Like just the fact that we've been forced to accept the fact that Paul Millsap is the greatest 3-point shooter to ever play basketball. I don't know what to do with this. Like he's unstoppable, and they need to feed him.
Paul Millsap really is the poster child of like your game evolves over time. You have to add new skills, and now he's just like this elite stretch 4.
He's the greatest.
It's actually really cool. He was a football player for most of his life, late to basketball, so he was adding all these things to his game late.
Dude, he might be a genius.
And the shot came last.
Physical genius.
The shot was the last
serious.
thing
He might be a physical genius where it's like after this
Real man of genius.
He's going to take up golf late because he's a great golfer too, right? Allegedly.
He should get tips
He's
from
going
you.
to take up golf and become a professional at it.
Just like you did.
It is underrated the extent to which he's extended his career.
Reinvented himself.
It really is.
Multiple times.
Tonight, 19 points, 7 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, 3 rebounds. Dad, not washed.
Not washed. What do you got a Millsap take for us?
Ooh, Jarrett calling out Zach Lowe in the comments here.
Millsap is a bad shooter. Zach
Lowe called him a bad shooter?
Zach Lowe has not watched a game or something.
Yeah,
there's no way you can like take that take.
Because Paul Millsap has been shooting the hell out of the ball this year. And he's also the one that gets it all going. Like it's a few shots that go here and there. They're missing. They're open shots. He like levels the offense. He makes the three and it gets everybody going. He's been shooting lights out this year, and we actually seen it last year as well. So
43% last.
There's no way that you watch Millsap now and think that he's not a good shooter.
Zach, if you're listening, we're big fans.
He is listening. Yeah, he's watching. He just texted me.
We're two things. You're wrong, and
sorry.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Drake got whatever you just haven't watched this year.
You son of a. I love you.
Michael Porter Jr. tonight, guys, goes for 14 points, 9 rebounds, which is unfortunate because I had a lot of money riding on a double-double. Actually, I had a small bet that would have won a lot of money had he hit it.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, it is the same thing. But he guys, incredible game. Malone was joking at it after the game. He challenged him to get 10 rebounds tonight. He got 9. I do think for me a big here's the situation with Michael Porter, okay? Because he's the youngest and one of the most talented players on this, and I think a lot of people are watching the Michael Porter situation in Denver and saying, well, they don't run enough plays for him, they don't do this. And I agree. Like, I do think there's things they can do to free him up. The number one thing, though, Michael Porter can do for himself is figure out where in the gaps he fits in, because the best way for Michael Porter to become a superstar is to master being a role player and then get added onto all of that. And this is the hard part about Michael Porter. He's great at the parts that you usually work towards. Like, he's great at getting tough shots and making them. But he can become great at the cuts, the reading the court better, the offensive rebounding, all of that stuff. And then it's like, man, this guy's scoring 18 a game off of no plays. Like, I know that feels backwards when people look at the talent and say, oh, we have to get to here. But I feel like if we want how Michael Porter can get where he's going, it's games like tonight where he was the 5th leading scorer tonight. Doesn't stand out, but he did some of the other stuff.
14 and 9. It's like a really solid role player.
Yeah, it's an incredible stat line.
Michael Porter Jr., like one of the things I have to tip my hat to is because he's a player that's been the offense every single time. You don't have to find your way in the offense because you've always been the offense.
You are the offense.
They didn't run plays for Michael Porter Jr. He was the play. So now he comes into the league and he has to figure out so many things all at one time. He's trying to learn the plays, where to be on the offense next to another superstar that he's never been by. Like he's never had a player like Jokic. Like, he doesn't know what to do. Then he's trying to find defense, which he's never really had to play defense. He's always been taller than everyone else. He's trying to figure out everything on the fly against the best players in the league every single night. So I think that's really difficult for him. And then he's still doing what he has to do. Like, he comes and puts up 19 points, and he's still trying to find himself in offense. He still has so many things that he's working on himself.
It's hilarious. Has he even, like, as a professional and has he compiled a full college season worth of games yet?
No. Yeah. Oh, totally.
No, because
yeah,
he
probably.
played a lot last year.
Probably,
Total
but
games.
you're right that it's still not very. Many.
I mean,
he's
like,
definitely
your
less
point
than a
stands.
sophomore.
I'm just
Yeah.
like thinking back, like he can call back upon his 2.5 games in college that
Right,
he
yeah.
played, and then the weird first season where he was up and down. We didn't really know what was going on. It was very political, and now he's like a part of the rotation, a starter no less, and like starting to like really understand how to work with the most transcendent basketball player of all time, Nikola Jokic, and a very streaky one in Jamal Murray, and like figure out exactly where his role is in that whole triumvirate. Which if those three hit, like I mean that's it's winner's lounge from here on out, Dev. Winner's lounge is from here on out.
Well, so here's an interesting stat I want to draw your attention to. Jokic tonight, 34 minutes. Jamal Murray, 31 minutes because he would have played more, but he got his head hurt. He misses those 3. Gary Harris, 29. Paul Millsap, 25. Michael Porter, just 24 minutes tonight. And some of those were in that fourth quarter when it was basically garbage time, so a little bit bump up. And if you go down the list here, Monte Morris, 24 minutes. Will Barton, 23 minutes. So I put this out the other day that I would not be surprised if Michael Porter was in the 24 to 28 zone for the next 10 to 15 games. Because he needs to learn some of this other stuff, and quite frankly, Denver needs to win while he's getting there. And to me, it's a healthy compromise. Like, I actually think that that's what we're going to see over the next 10 to 15, and I think it's the right decision. It's not that he's not playing. It's just that he might not be in there a lot, and single game plus minus, there's a lot of things that go into it. But if we look at this, Jokic plus 20, Jamal Murray plus 15, Gary Harris plus 13, Michael Porter plus 2. And then if you go down to the bench and we look at Will Barton plus 25 tonight. So in those minutes that he basically stole Michael Porter's spot, that's the game tonight. Now, again, like I said, there's a lot of other things in it, but to me, that's what I expect going forward. Is that going to piss you off, Eric?
No, it's not going to piss me off.
You just agree with Malone no matter what he does.
No, I don't know. I certainly don't agree with Malone with whatever he does, but I also acknowledge the fact that I myself don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to how managing elite athletes, and I have to tip my hat, or at least I have to at least point myself towards the success that Michael Malone has had managing these egos and just being able to navigate his way through an NBA season and being more successful each and every year, and then coming out on the other side like smelling like roses. Like, all NBA players love him. We talk about this all the time. Like, so, I, in the moment, like, just like everybody else, I get frustrated with certain alignments he has and decisions he makes. But I always feel like he's just working towards something larger,
But one of my points is also, I bet you were surprised that he played fewer minutes than everybody else. Because I don't think it felt like he was pulled at any moment.
Right.
But he just clearly comes out a little bit quicker than everyone else, goes in a little bit slower than everyone else.
Well, I mean, don't forget he had really quick fouls.
He had the foul trouble in
Yeah,
the
he
third.
had the
And
foul
it
trouble.
was the fouls on the shooting. Like,
Yeah.
He kept running into Harden.
But this is what I was going to say. The other thing is, I think, it'll be 27-28 with the wrinkle that he can play himself into more, right? And
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
To me, this is how you get him to that.
And it'll be within his control. And if Mike approaches the third quarter in the right way, then he'll stay out there.
Right,
but,
right.
Tonight, one of those calls was tough, but he immediately picks up those 2 shooting fouls on Harden. I think you could predict that foul trouble or not, Malone would yank him a little quickly.
Right. Moving on the list, Gary Harris tonight goes 6 of 10 from the field, including 2 of 6 from 3. Guys, 2 of 6. And he gets 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Pretty solid night from Gary. Started off a little rough. We had a couple groans, but when he makes the 3-point shot, man, it just feels like it tilts everything.
When he's decisive, if like cutting, finish the cut.
Yeah.
Shooting, shoot. But when he puts it on the floor, dribbles, steps back, second guesses himself 3 times, it's an adventure. But be decisive.
Kale, are you okay?
Yeah.
Wow, you just sound like Kale just fell down the stairs.
Oh, Kale's getting his winner shot.
winner shot.
He may
shot.
have died for it.
Did you make the shots? No one's at the bar.
Oh, God, what are we doing? Are we doing Rakia?
Rakia. Oh, wow.
Wow. What is going to be rough?
Is that our winner's lounge drink?
I guess so.
Choice is not the question.
It's like, did they lose?
Isaiah Hartenstein tonight, guys. Isaiah Hartenstein, 5 fouls. That's the stat, or 4 fouls, I guess. I thought he had 5.
Yeah, earlier in the night, Adam declared himself an Isaiah Hartenstein stan.
I did say Yeah,
did say
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein.
But he does have one sort of Achilles heel to me.
That's a big glass of Rocky.
Yeah, dude. Wow, Kale, give me a mini one. Wow.
I'll take Eric's.
Didn't we sip last time?
Yeah,
we did sip.
Although we were then told that we're not. We get a lot of really conflicting information when it comes to rakia. I've been told not supposed to sip.
You can do whatever. I'm guessing the older generation sips it because they're always just tougher and crazier. The younger one shoots it a little bit more. Who is it? Oh, it was Miroslav that told you if you have rakia and beer together, it's called a cement. It's basically the Serbian translation is a cement mixer or something like that because it turns your brain to cement.
You
don't know Serbian shot.
But a cement mixture is supposed to be when it has milk in it and you have to drink it so quickly because
it'll curdle. Yeah, this one it's because it turns your brain to cement.
Anyway, that was alcohol corner.
Yeah, alcohol corner. So Hartenstein tonight, he gets only 10 minutes in part because of the foul trouble. He gets 5 points, 4 rebounds. He does get those 4 fouls. I think that Hartenstein playing more will be a good thing for Denver, but he really does. And I'm not trying to just belabor this point. When guys are in the league for a couple years, and they have all these great characteristics, like he can finish at the rim. He sets he's easily the best screener on the team. He might be better than Plumlee as a screener. Honestly, he's that good of a screener. He can slide his feet. He can do a bunch of different things. I think he has one major flaw, and that is that he's kind of out of control with his fouls. Like some of the fouls he's
running into people.
Some of the fouls he has this season are very Mason Plumlee.
Yeah,
remember when Vlatko I don't remember in the first game where he just leveled a guy or whatever.
He's a smash brother.
He is a smash brother. He's just
he just wants to go out there and just abuse guys.
Bumper cars out there.
He's knocking people over, and then he looks like I don't know what's going on. I'm just playing.
Don't forget that this was the revenge game for Hartenstein.
This was the revenge game.
He actually didn't play that bad, but I agree with you, Adam.
He plays great when he's on the court.
But it's very Plumlee-esque how quickly he picks up fouls.
How quickly he does, yeah. And
which is not great as someone who's there to eat up backup.
Just so aggressive. There was the time that Jamal Murray's at the free throw line, with 0.3 seconds left in the half. This guy's going all out. Yeah, I'm just gonna knock this guy out the way. I'm grabbing no rebound. We have our best free throw shooter at the
90% free throw shooter, 0.3 seconds left, and he's like a violation. But I like Hartenstein. I just want him. I want him to be on the court, and I'm not so sure. PJ Dozier had a phenomenal first stint. His numbers don't pop: 3 points, 5 rebounds. He was a plus 24 in 20 minutes. So he was part of the unit that really crushed it tonight. Any Dozier commentary?
He looked kind of sloppy, honestly. He had some pretty comical little moments on the court.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, remember he went up for a slam and he lost the ball at the apex and just threw it into the backboard. Yeah. He had some just dribbled it right out of bounds moments.
Dozier's still 10-15% away from the player I think we'd all like to talk about him as. Yeah. He's close, but he's not that guy just yet.
Yeah, for sure. And then I see Monte Morrison here with that plus 24. Or actually, he was a plus 14. He does get 12 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. That's a Monte Morris stat line right there. 24 minutes, 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds.
Did we decide if we were going to call him Monmo or not?
We did decide it, and it was no.
It's a hard
but
no.
He is
horrible. I don't want to call him that.
Yeah, nobody does.
Yeah, we're not going to do what?
He has so many nicknames, and that's one that will not be joining it.
Bring that up again. But back to what we're saying. That's the perfect Monte Morris game. Monmo game. Yeah, I'm never saying
don't
that.
do that. Yeah,
sounds horrible. But he has 5 assists and he has no turnovers. That's him as your backup point guard. And he runs the unit.
Monte line.
The second group has not been that well, and he ran it to perfection tonight. So that's a great game for him.
And it's been an adjustment year for Monte. A little more off ball than he's used to. And there's 4 guards out there, so this is a guy I think he's used to making things happen, even alongside Murray. Now he's playing off ball a little bit more, so there's been some adjustment. I thought he looked much more comfortable tonight.
The Nuggets get to 2-2. Of course, they got Sacramento tomorrow, so we're going to be right back here, hopefully in a winner's lounge tomorrow night.
Oh boy.
Sacramento revenge game. Denver a chance to bounce back. If they do get to 2-2, this was a game that I think everybody needed just as a release valve. It's a 72-game season. It's so long, but if you start 0-3, it's especially if you lose to the shorthanded Houston team. But if they can get to 2-2. I do feel like there's a little bit of a mental reset, right? Of all right, you're back to 0-0 basically. You would have liked to have been 3-1. Realistically, 4-0 would have been really tough. So if they can get to 2-2, it's all right. I feel like there's a bit of a reset.
They should have won that first game.
They should have, yeah.
The second game was Christmas, so of course they were going to ruin everybody's night. No chance.
It wasn't Orthodox Christmas. It was just regular Christmas.
Like they knew, like that's just written in stone at this point. Yeah, they won this game handedly. They're going to beat the King. I mean, they should be 2-1. They're going to beat the Kings tomorrow. They should be 3-1. I'm counting. I don't even care what the record says. I'm writing that down.
I see in the comments. Let's get to break here. Our final break. Harrison texting me right now. He's 5 minutes out, so we're going to have a nice wind gust.
Wind chime.
Share with us. I love it when Harrison joins the show and we get all of his takes and we get to hear what everybody had to say. I can't wait for it.
Dude.
I prefer hearing Harrison tell me what the player said than having to watch the whole scrum.
Same.
It's like annotate it for me and give me the annotation.
Yeah, it's like much more succinct.
It's more succinct.
And the
He's
thoughts
also
are much
the
more
one
put
that's
together.
asking the good questions.
That's
true, yeah.
So it makes sense for him to tell you what someone told him.
Yeah.
He's like the Spark Notes version. You remember in high school, you'd have to read all the books, or you could just read Spark Notes.
Man, I
Notes.
would do a wind
Cliff
chime
Notes,
every
yeah.
single book. Easily.
Yeah, every single, but yeah, we need whim chime just to tell us, like, hey man, Anna, can you tell us what it's about? Like, just real
What do you
quick.
do for a living? I retweet Harrison Wind. All right. Hey, are you trying to figure out how to get a new toothbrush? Which toothbrush to get? Don't do the $2 one again. Those things suck. Right now, you can schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam. You'll get a free Sonicare toothbrush from our friends at Green Mountain Dental. Hey, sometimes it's annoying when the dentist talks to you, except these dentists are they're local. They're Coloradoans. How do you guys say that? Coloradans? Coloradans. And they're big Denver sports fans, so it's a good time. And look, it's like
I don't like Colorado.
$60 value on a Sonicare toothbrush. You can get it for free.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get that cleaning, X-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental. So sign up today, receive that free Sonicare toothbrush. Also got to talk about Strava Craft Coffee. It'll have you honking like a
goose.
If you are in the area, stop by. Oh, I can't read that part because you can't stop by the DNVR bar. But you can subscribe now and save 20% with a Strava Craft Coffee subscription. We know a lot of you have already taken advantage of the one-time code where you save 20% off that order, but now you can get it off every single shipment using their subscription service. You can choose to get it every 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks. If you've never tried the rich CBD infused Strava Craft coffee, you can use code DNVR20, save 20% off your order. What is CBD infused coffee? Well, it's non-psychoactive, so you don't get high, but you will feel that edge taken off in the morning, a little less anxiety. IBS is a little better. Am I right, Eric? Alleviates that joint pain. So check out Strava Craft Coffee now.
I have no idea.
Get yourself honking like a goose.
All right. Before Harrison does, we do need to take our shots, guys.
Yeah,
because
like
it's
we
a
are
Serbian tradition.
We're contractually obligated.
We're contractually obligated here.
Come on, Dev.
And Dev has a toast he'd like to give here. He said
Traditional Serbian, he
so
said,
he did say he wanted the mic for.
Yeah, you got to do it in Serbian as well. I don't know if we told you that.
What is it you wanted to say?
What I was saying before, because we talked about it on the show.
Sure.
They cannot hear you right now.
It's even better. What we talked about before the show is I said this was going to be a Nuggets win. And not only would it be a Nuggets win, it would be a Nikola Jokic Nuggets win. 2 better days.
To better days. To the big
Hey,
yo.
man, look, I threw him a real tough
So
one there, and he
nervous right
just
now.
knocked it out of the park.
What do I say now? Do I
It's so
scream
smooth.
something?
It's so smooth. Jesus.
I'm gonna wash it down with this beer.
So delicious.
We're gonna end the show tonight with a little hot box and hot take.
I
Harrison
I hit it with me vomiting.
Harrison hasn't come in yet, has he?
No, he's not.
We haven't got the guest
Zavelli.
in.
We do
Oh.
have hot box hot take though.
So we're gonna end it with a little bit of Eric. We have our things here. Cold takes or hot takes.
Oh.
We can go around the room. All right, I got a take. Nikola Jokic is going to break his triple-double record by the end of February. Right now it's 13, I believe, is the most he's had in a single season. 13
For
or
record,
14.
guys, it's the end of December right now.
Yeah, so we have 1 month. He's got like 15 games. I don't know, 20 games for him to break that record. It means he's going to get probably as many triple doubles as he will not triple doubles. I'm feeling it. What are we thinking? Is that spicy? End of February.
All right,
It is a little spicy.
It's spicy because of the time frame you gave him. I
Really
mean,
tight.
I would say that's nearly impossible. Except, are we sure that he's not going to average a triple double between then and now?
No,
First of all, between then and now, here's the thing. He is going to be averaging a triple-double because he has 3. The assists are the hard part. He gets the double-digit rebounds more often than not. But the assists are the hard part, and he's got 3 in a row above 10. Like, his assists, he could have 6 assists for like 4 or 5 games and still be it. So, I don't know, man.
Dude, this man is going to average a triple double.
The whole season?
Look at this. Look at this cold take. Just like the snow outside softly falling after a statement like that. Yes, that will happen.
I mean,
Jokic is going to average a triple-double for the season.
Yes, so he's going to break he's going to average a triple-double. He will break his triple-double record by the end of February. Your take is quite cold, sir.
Wow.
He has been in triple-double watch by the third quarter. In
Every
three,
game.
3 straight games.
I'm so pissed that he didn't have one last game because he had the rebounds.
Will
He
Barton.
had like 20 minutes to get one rebound. He didn't do it because if you open, they put the stat up on the Altitude broadcast the other day that he would have been the first player since Magic Johnson to start the season with back-to-back triple-doubles. And I'm thinking like that would have been dope. And then he would have had 3 and who knows. So, but I do like, I know it sounds crazy, but averaging a triple-double this season is not out of the question for him. It's really early, but we're seeing how easy the game's coming to him right now.
Can I give you a hot take really quickly?
Please do.
My stomach. It's pretty hot right now with some rakia going.
Oh, yeah, that rakia really. They say it warms you up, and I didn't need to be warmed, but I was definitely.
I'm in danger of overheating.
So warm. So warm.
Dev is very warm.
The hottest take.
Dev, you got us a take for us? Do you want to see how hot or cold it is?
Hot take. Not only will Nikola Jokic be in the runnings for MVP, I think he's going to be a top 2 for the whole year. There's
Top 2?
No guessing it. It'll be a top 2.
Yeah.
Who's his
throughout the whole year.
competition?
Anthony Davis.
I'll say Luka or Greek Freak.
All right.
Will
The
be
usual
the
suspects
running.
there. Those guys also could put up triple-double-esque numbers. That's the thing about it. Like Luka could also have a triple-double average or this or that. But, man, I don't know. Like, Jokic, honestly, 18, 12, and 10 feels like his an appropriate average. It's not that far out of the.
I mean, if guys are hitting shots, like 18 is not. It's just not that much.
I'm going to say cold take because I do think there's some cannibalizing right now of the MVP. I feel like there's a bunch of guys like LeBron and AD. They're going to be missing games, alternating. Kevin Durant could be, but I don't know if he's going to play enough games. We've been watching them, so I just don't know, man. Like I think if the Nuggets are a top 4 seed and Jokic is averaging a triple double, the Westbrook rule, you have to look at it and be like, are we really going to overvalue this?
Yeah. To me, I don't think like Luka to
Or
me is
undervalue
sort of
this?
the easy guy. Other than that, you could envision fatigue for every other name, right? That's an obvious candidate. And then the Nuggets could, I mean, they're 1-2 right now, obviously, but they could win way more games than Dallas. So it's on the table.
His passes tonight too, man. Like he gets to 18 assists, but if you go back and watch all of them, how many of them were like A+ assists? Sometimes you get the handoff guy hits a 3 or whatever. How many of them tonight were like fully? Yeah, not that many guys could make that one
fully in his bag.
I would say like 10 of those were like less than half the league can make that pass, and then like 5 of them were like, okay, 6 guys can make.
Trying
that
to remember
pass.
that, like I'm not thinking back on the game. I'm thinking back on us jumping up from our chairs going,
When I think of heat check moments, I think of like Curry step back
Yeah.
threes or 4 in a row or something like that. Jokic has them in a row for passes.
So true.
It's so amazing. It's like, okay, like this is a heat check pass. I'm just gonna throw it and hopefully somebody's there. And then somebody's there.
oh,
Did you open the window?
It feels kind of
Is
cold.
it- is it-
No, I mean, did you open the
Is it
door
because
or a
it's so
window or
hot?
something? Is
Is
that
it
why
because it's so hot?
I do
here?
feel a stiff breeze, or is that because there's a Harrison wind? Oh my goodness!
There you go.
New mask.
The man with the wind above his mask. Harrison
looking
Wind.
good, too.
Can we hear him actually? Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at that. Kale's on top of it.
Do you guys hear me? I feel like my video looks a little choppy.
We can hear you, brother.
It's a little choppy, but we can hear you. Harrison, congrats on your first viewing win at Ball Arena.
You
I
did
know
it.
it feels great.
Yeah, the crowd went wild. Crowd absolutely loved it. They're still cheering right now, actually. Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. So honestly, I mean, from being at the arena, before we get to the coaches and what they had to say, this was a bit of a must-win for the Nuggets.
in a ridiculous way.
As much as a third game of a season can be a must-win, it felt like a must-win. Did you notice any added intensity or focus from the team from what you saw tonight?
It's tough to say, man. It's so tough to say. Like, just watching warm-ups, it was the same thing. You guys know this from going to games. Nikola Jokic's warm-up is unlike any other player's warm-up in the entire league. And usually I personally just read way too much into guys' warm-ups. Like, oh, Jamal Murray's sinking everything in warm-ups. He's going to have a good game. That stuff never translates. But, like, Jokic's warm-up is the most random collection of shots, one-footed shots, two-footed shots, fadeaways, right-handed, left-hand. And he gets on the court for warm-ups when everybody gets out there. The Rockets are already out there. He gets out, he steps 1 foot on the court and just absolutely sprints to like the opposite sideline. That's the only thing I saw that told me that maybe Denver was going to start out with a little more intensity. That's it. That's the
Well, there you go. And it wasn't a very good Rockets team. It was easy to kind of build some momentum tonight. It felt like for the Nuggets, every time they kind of let go, all right, let's focus for a few minutes, and we're up 15 again. But take us inside the well, I guess you can't take us inside the locker room. Take us inside the Zoom.
Yeah, so like it was funny. Michael Malone before the game, he was reflecting on one season when he was with the Cavs, and I think it was when the Cavs they had lost to Dwight Howard and the Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals, or it might have been the second round. But then they had like super high expectations coming into the next season. Then they started 0-2. And Malone was like, yeah, the sky was falling. Like, what are we going to do? Like, kind of making it like maybe the 0-2 start is being a bigger deal than it actually is, or made being into like a bigger deal than it actually is. And it probably was. But I mean, like, there was some concerning stuff for sure. So I feel like Nikola Jokic came out tonight and was like, all right, we're just not going to lose this game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to necessarily shoot us to a win. Like the guy didn't even shoot a field goal in the second half, which is just like absurd. He didn't even shoot a shot in the second half from the field. But I think he came out and said, yeah, we're just not losing tonight. We're going to win. Like I'm going to dominate my matchup. These guys can't stop me. They're undersized. They're undermanned. And I feel like Michael Malone felt that same way too. So Nuggets are they're lucky that they've got this beautiful Serbian center in Nikola Jokic.
We were raving about him all game, Harrison, and just about the level he's on. But I mean, was there any conversation after the game from Michael Malone just about the level of play Jokic is at tonight? And even from your perspective, I mean, we're watching it in each other's company. I know that you're more or less alone at Pepsi Center right now, but we're watching it and just hyping it up because we're like, my God. What did it feel the same being there and in that environment, that this was special?
So it felt like a special game to me. It definitely felt like a special game to me. I sat next to somebody on press row or a couple seats down he said it was one of the best games or best performances he's seen at Pepsi Center / Ball Arena. I don't know if that guy wants me to reveal his name, but he was blown away. A lot of us were blown away on who were here. Like this was a special performance, I think. Like Vogt was saying, I think before I get on, he just dominated this game. With his passing, like he was making heat check passes out there. But it's funny because I don't think like Michael Malone or the guys in that locker room, I don't know if they recognized or it clicked for them that it might have been one of those special nights right away. It was clear to me, obviously clear to you guys. I don't know if like right in the moment it's clear to them how special of a night it was because they were asked about him. Jokic was asked about his own night, and they like Jamal Murray, Paul Millsap, like they pretty much said, this is just like what we expect from him. But I mean, in my opinion, it was a special night.
Yeah. So what did Jokic have to say about the game, and just what were his comments afterwards?
Yeah, he just said that one of the reasons why he felt he passed the ball so well tonight was he said he felt like Denver was just in a really good overall offensive flow. And obviously that was easier to do against this Rockets team and who they had available tonight than a typical opponent. But the Nuggets were in a good offensive rhythm for most of this night. And Jokic kind of felt like that helped breed him being in a good rhythm with his passes. He said they were switching, they were double teaming and helping, like they were throwing a lot of different coverages out there. And he just tried to find the open guy. He said, quote, "It was easy for me." And
Yeah,
I thought Paul Millsap had an interesting quote as well, because part of it is, of course, Nikola being just this absolute marksman with his passes, having this unbelievable vision. The other side of it is the Nuggets players have to make themselves available to him. They've got to make the right cut. They've got to, give him a target to pass the ball. It's obviously an easier job than the job Jokic is doing, but I felt like Denver, his teammates made themselves available to him tonight. I thought that was the other aspect of it.
He does harp on that a lot. I mean, Jokic is always talking about, and I actually, this is a perspective that I really understand with him, and this is why I always see it. But he does feel like he can do this when everybody does the right thing. Like, he can always read the court when guys do the right thing, but guys don't always do it, and it makes what he does a little bit harder. He's still really good with it. So it's interesting that he had that exact point, because that's such a Jokic perspective on this game. Was there anything else out of Jokic tonight?
I don't think there was much out of Jokic tonight. A couple other interesting notes I thought, though. Michael Malone said this morning he challenged Michael Porter Jr. to get 10 rebounds.
I did too. On DraftKings, I challenged him.
Challenge him with unit.
Well, I'm sure he got 9.
I do know that he got 9.
We noticed that.
Acutely aware.
Malone gave him a shout out after the game, because obviously rebounding a huge point of emphasis for these guys. And the Rockets only got 5 offensive rebounds. And, Malone said, let me see if I can find the quote here. Desire, urgency, want, that's what rebounding is. It's not technique. It's going to get the ball. Michael Malone on rebounding.
Well, good for MPJ to grab those. I hope that it becomes a fixture, because I really do feel like that's one way for him to make the big impact. Who else spoke tonight? I think I saw Paul. Yeah,
we got Paul, and Paul had a couple good quotes on Nikola. Just said, it's obviously unbelievable what he does out there, just the things he can do, the spots he can put the ball. It's just unbelievable. So I was thinking about this too, guys. Paul Millsap was a free agent this offseason, obviously. Like, on one hand, he's thinking, like, maybe I could go to Boston for the same amount of money, a few million more, or I can just play with Nikola Jokic for another year. I feel like that's probably not the toughest decision.
You think that was really factored into it for him?
I've got to think so, man. A guy like Paul Millsap, at the stage he's at in his career, the types of shots he can get in a Nuggets offense, I don't think he can get the same quality of shots anywhere else. I mean, that's just me, but there's no way he can get the quality of looks that he does in Denver on another team in the league.
Who do you have more confidence in right now? Who do you have the most confidence in right now taking an open 3 on the Nuggets roster in a game?
Michael Porter Jr.
He's number 1.
Who's number 2?
Number 2.
There's a right answer.
You're already over 1.
The right answer is Paul Millsap.
Yeah. I mean, he goes 3 of 4 tonight. It's just
1, 2, 3.
It's part of this is because he only shoots him when he's wide open, so that's the only sample size we have. But he's automatic. It feels like 3 of 4 tonight is pretty freaking good. Is there anybody else that talked, or any other notes you have from this post game?
Another note I have is Malone went out of his way to laud the impact of Gary Harris tonight, offensively and defensively. And I know, like, James Harden went off, but Malone seemed pretty pleased with just the defensive effort that Gary Harris gave. So Gary was 2 of 6 tonight from 3, and I know for a fact I know for a fact his 2 makes were from the corner, and I feel like this is a little known fact, but Gary Harris has actually been really, really good from the corners the last couple of years. He's just been terrible from everywhere else beyond the 3-point arc. Like, he has been a 40 to 45, 46% shooter from the corners these last couple of years, even though his overall 3-point percentage has not been good. He's just been that bad from everywhere else beyond the arc.
Yeah. Well, it was an encouraging game. I feel, even though it was a really bad Rockets team. I don't know if I have to keep saying it, but it was a really good. It was just.
I'm laughing because you're hiccuping / burping.
My hiccups.
Some rocky. We're in the rockiest stage of the winner's.
We did have a winner's shot, although it felt like a loser's shot, to be honest with you. We're still getting used to the.
It was so you missed it, Harrison. It was so good. No sipping today.
No, straight shooting.
Harrison, can you give us before you get out of here? Can you give us one? We're doing hot box and hot takes to close out the show. Can you give us a hot box and hot take? We're going to rate how if it was hot or cold take. Pragmatic win take. It's coming.
It's going to be so practical.
Is this the best Jokic has ever looked in the regular season?
Can we get a cold? Is there something colder than ice here?
It's a snowstorm out there.
What's colder than cold? Ice cold.
Harrison's live from an igloo.
Wind is so good at analysis, he can't give a hot take.
All right, Harrison, thank you so much, man. It's good seeing you. Can't wait to read your piece up on the DNVR tomorrow.
All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be in the lounge tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Thanks for doing all the work. Peace.
All right, that's our own Harrison Wind, of course, cooking up something special for you guys.
Cooking with ice.
Cooking with ice tonight. 0 Kelvin is accurate. There's a lot of Kelvin ahead that he could have got there.
Our commenters are the best.
What did he say? Is this the best Jokic has looked to start?
That wind is cutting.
I think so. I think it is.
Someone just said, that wind is cutting to the bone.
This is a hot take. Times will overtake Woj bombs.
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. I love it.
The latest Woj bomb was John Morant is not injured. So
You're right.
And the latest wind chime was, this is the best Nikola Jokic has looked to start a season.
He's on the right track.
They're on the right track. All right, Vote. We need a spicy take from you.
Jokic will eclipse 20 assists in a game this season.
Oh, that is a spicy one. Tonight felt
That's
like he had a
spicy
million
meatball.
assists.
He had time to think of that.
He's got to be
He
better
did.
than tonight.
I think that's a hot.
But if there's a couple just made layups tonight, Jokic hit
Yeah,
20 assists.
20 was there if
don't-
his teammates helped him
Here's
out.
the thing, though. They were also up by a lot. And if he has 2 more assists, that's probably 5 more points because one of those would be a 3. I don't know, man.
I'm going to say, just to be at the center, I'm going to say a hot.
It is
like
hot,
that,
man.
too.
That's
20
a
is
big-
hot. No,
that's
it is
really
hot.
hot. Yeah.
People aren't
That's the
doing
goal,
that.
right?
20
Yeah, you're
assists,
okay.
people aren't doing that. It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't happen that often.
It's
man.
impossible.
From the
I've
center
never seen it.
position? No chance.
In this economy?
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild. All right, Eric, we saved the spiciest take for the spiciest person here.
What is my hot take that I'm going to?
Hot box. Remember, you have to kind of believe it. This can't be just like Jokic will score 100 points. They have to, like-
Eric kind of believes everything that comes out of his mouth.
I know. You know what's funny is my takes are really not that hot. I just deliver them with such panache. Wouldn't you say?
All right, whatever.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take, guys.
You don't get to call your own stuff panache.
I believe that what we saw foretold in the preseason, that we see Jokic, we see Steph Murray, and MP Clay come together like the Warriors. We see this team turn into what we thought they were going to be, which is just an offensive juggernaut. We saw a little taste of it tonight. We see no piece of it in any part of the season leading up to it. But I taking on a team with 9 players, I just saw offensive greatness, and I see more of it to come.
I would call that an incoherent take, but also
What is the take?
What is the take?
We're gonna.
the Nuggets will be good.
The
They're
Nuggets
gonna
will
be good, dude. They're gonna be good. And it's a
Nuggets
hot.
are gonna
It's a
be
cold
cold.
take. What could be colder?
Take. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out in the Winners Lounge with us late night.
do it again tomorrow.
The Rocky had no joke, by the way. Just in case any kids are out there, sip it slow.
I never want the Winners Lounges to end. You know.
I know,
I
man.
know.
Let's just do one again tomorrow.
As soon as the Winners Lounge is over, it's like, oh yeah, now I've got to go back to life.
Yeah, I know. This is the best part of the
We
day.
get a back-to-back.
We do get it back to back. We don't have to wait long.
We
24
get to
hours
see
from now.
you guys tomorrow.
Right back here. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, guys. Make a comment or something. I don't know.
Thank
We'll
you
see
for
you
all
all
you
tomorrow.
do. You guys are the best.
Oh, damn it. That's why you don't